Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I thought I'd bring you outside today because it is a beautiful Saturday, Easter weekend. Good Friday was yesterday, and Easter Sunday is tomorrow. But I want to talk about programs and where they are at right now at this moment, like over the last 2 seasons, I would say. I'm going to define them as reload programs or programs that are already built or programs that are almost built. And I'm going to talk mostly about the reload programs. Um, and this is why I'm going into this because Jaden Davis committed to the University of Michigan, and that was followed up by Andrew Sprague. Commitments The commitments that are at Michigan are currently ranked number 2 in the nation per 24/7 composite. So, like I said, let's just get started in naming what these teams are. I'm going to give you teams that are rebuilding. So, they were built in the past, but they have some work to do here going forward. I think TCU is one of them, lost Max Duggan. Oklahoma, of course, Venables has to get them on the right track. Baylor, Kansas State won the Big 12 championship last season. Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Oregon State, UCLA from the Pac 12, Tennessee, South Carolina, Mississippi, all from the SEC. Tulane had a nice surprise, but they're rebuilding from last year, and Troy as well. Teams that are almost built, in my opinion, USC. They just need to get that defense together. They have Caleb Williams, and who knows if these teams that are almost built win, then they will be in the rebuilding or the reloading category next season. But USC, you got Florida State, LSU, Clemson, almost built there from last season. Okay, so Clemson obviously is rebuilding right now, but I think they're almost there. They're almost built. Oregon, Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, Washington, Utah, and Illinois, believe it or not. And so there are 4 teams that I think are actually reload programs right now this season. I'm just going to go ahead and give them to you here. Obviously, Georgia. They returned 13 overall starters. They do have the new offensive coordinator in Mike Bobo, but he is an alum from there. Uh, their defense just wins championships, though. And as long as they have Kirby Smart, they'll be just fine. They have 7 returning starters under Glenn Schumann, the new defensive coordinator. They've won 2 straight national championships, but they have to replace Stetson Bennett at quarterback. And I have always said quarterback isn't everything. Build the team, insert the quarterback, and they will probably do just that. Georgia will reload because of their recruiting classes, and Kirby Smart is an amazing coach. He proved he can develop elite talent. In 2019, Georgia had the number 2 recruiting class. In 2020, the number 1. In 2021, the number 3. 22, the number 3. And in this last cycle, they had the number 2 ranked class in the nation. So that's stacking depth on depth. That's talent acquisition, and he has proven he can develop that elite talent. Who should we talk about next? Let's go with Ohio State. Ohio State, I think, is a reload program. Still, they returned 13 overall starters, just like Georgia. Brian Hartline is now the new offensive coordinator, former wide receiver coach for them. So, they're going to sling it around again. Jim Knowles gets his second year at defensive coordinator. So, maybe there's some improvement there that can be made. Stroud is gone, so they hope that the wide receivers that they have right now don't go to waste. So they're going to try everything they can to get the ball in those guys' hands. OSU will reload because of their recruited classes as well. Ryan Day has proved not much in the development side, but he can get talent. and he can't win the Big Ten except for the first year. Now that Michigan's good, we'll see if he can rebound and win a Big Ten. But they have elite talent. In 2019, they had the number 7 class. 2020, the number 5. 2021, they had the number 2 class. And 2022, they had the number 4. And 2023, they have the number 4. And if these numbers sound off to you, it's taking into account the the incoming transfers as well. 24/7 composite overall with your freshmen and your transfers incoming. That's what you're at right now, Ohio State. Oh, the almighty Saban. They don't return much, including Bryce Young at quarterback. Tommy Rees takes over at offensive coordinator, and Notre Dame was happy to say goodbye to him. Kevin Steele at defensive coordinator. Both are new coordinators, but Saban has been through plenty of them. Plenty of coordinators throughout his tenure, and he's always just right there, ready to go. Talent acquisition is inevitable for Alabama. In 2019, they had the number 1 class. 2020, they had the number 2 class. 2021, number 1. 2022, number 2. And this last cycle, they had the number 1 class. Needs are important, though. And that's the route that this next team is taking. It's not just about talent acquisition. They've been there the past 2 cycles, winning the Big Ten the last 2 seasons. Yes, Michigan is a reload program now, in my opinion. 2 playoff appearances in a row. Beat Ohio State twice in a row. Michigan returns 13 starters, as well as Ohio State and Georgia. And McCarthy, their quarterback, is the only one of the quarterbacks from these 4 teams that is back. Corum and Edwards are back among them on offense. Sharon Moore is the new offensive coordinator here at Michigan. Hopefully, he'll be the only one, so we're on the same page as it goes with coordinating the offense. Jesse Minter as well is back on the defensive side for year 2. And, I think he's the first one that has stayed in the past 3. So all the defensive players on this team that have been there 4 years have had 3 different coordinators. So hopefully some continuity there. Michigan is the development program, okay, and re-signed Ben Herbert as the strength and conditioning coach for 5 years now. They signed Jesse Minter is on a 3-year deal, and Sharon Moore is on a 3-year deal, both around $1 million a year. So Michigan is investing in the culture, and Harbaugh has stayed. We don't know what he's going to do, but he is staying as of right now and getting the number 2 recruiting class right now in the nation. So one of a few SODs that make $1 million a year. Strength and conditioning coaches. Ben Herbert got paid, and I'm happy about that. Michigan's recruiting in 2019 it was number 10. In 2020 it was number 12. 21 13. 22 12, and then this last cycle number 19. And we had a lot of people coming back, so we didn't really need a whole lot of people. Now there's going to be a mass exodus for the NFL after this season, so we will need a huge class, starting off with Jaden Davis. I was so happy we got that guy. So there you have it. Teams that are reloading, rebuilding, and almost built. And like I said, I will go over all the schedules and predict every team's in the Power 5, every team's record coming up here shortly. But the next video, I'm going to talk about Michigan basketball. So stay tuned for that. Remember to like the video, subscribe, share with others that you think might be interested, and have a great day.